of the WWE Universe and TNA cast members. Yes, TNA cast members. The spoilers for this week's Impact came out today, during the day. I'm not going to talk about the spoilers per se because I haven't seen the show. I could bitch about the show till the show actually airs and just see the show. Just give the show a chance. I'm going to give the show a chance. But before we even get to the tapings, TNA sends out Director of Operations or somebody to the ring with some other people, apparently. And it came out that they went to the fans and they told the fans there at the Impact Zone and told them that they needed to watch what they said, that they needed to tone it down a little bit, particularly after last night. You know, after last night, I'm sure TNA's not real happy. And said, you know, that you need to be that you guys are cast members. Unpaid cast members, but cast members. But then again, they're watching the show for free. So, you know, for those of you who don't know, people get into the Impact Zone for free. But anyways, most of you, I think, know that. But cast members. Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely think the crowd is part of the show. But they're not really cast members. And as it went on, it became apparent, apparently, that what they wanted is they wanted it to be like a studio audience. I was like, man, this sounds horrible. I can't believe that. This is probably not as bad as it sounds. Then, somebody at the show actually taped and stuck this up on YouTube. I'm going to put a link to it. I hope it's still up. I hope it stays up. I hope me putting a link to it doesn't get it taken down. Maybe it will. Oh well. Some of you will probably get to see it. Watching it, it was like 1,000 times worse than how I read. It's like, oh my God. And he said, cast members. WWE gets a lot of shit for the WWE Universe. But to say that you're cast members and to imply that you need to, if no matter what, you need to go along with the story, basically, you know, don't have any individuality, don't do anything, you know, just do what you want to do. Basically, be a studio audience. We will tell you when to boo and when to cheer. Yes, because for those of you who don't know, that's WCW did that when they were at Universal and would do. They actually had cards where they would prompt the fans when to cheer, and they would weed out the hardcores and they went to strong lengths to control the crowd, and it was horrible. It was bad. It was not good. It was not good whatsoever. And yet, here we have TNA, and apparently they're going to try to calm down the fans a bit. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with them going out and explaining to the fans that maybe they need to settle down a little bit. For example, I'll give an example, because I've said this before. I think that Paul Heyman made a mistake. I think Paul Heyman should have done this. I thought Paul Heyman should have done this. I even thought before the first episode of the new ECW started that Paul Heyman should have went to the fans and said, okay, here's the deal. We are on live TV. Or specifically after the second show. We're on live TV. Being that we're on live TV, you know, you guys need to watch what you say. Can't have some of the chants you guys like to say. You guys are smart enough, intelligent enough to come up with better chants that could make it to the censors on TV, because we can't be censoring you guys because it's just going to take away from the match. You guys want to be part of the show. We want you to be active. We want you to be loud. We want you to be crazy. But we need you to do it in a way that, you know, isn't going to where we don't have to bleep you guys out. Something along those lines. Of course, this is Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman probably could have walked out there, told these guys, sit on your hands for the whole show, and they probably would have done it. You know, Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid. You know, he had the Kool-Aid. So I don't see any problems with doing that. But the way that they did it was so just wow. It was like, wow. It was like, so you don't want to be... I mean, it makes it... You remember last night on the Genesis pay-per-view, I said it felt very much like a WWE pay-per-view, which wasn't a good thing. Basically, you're going to take all of that... One of the Impact Zone fans, I'm not going to say that they're the greatest thing in the world, because they're not. They do stupid shit. I mean, you know, Anvil got a Still You Got It chant really, really, guys. But they do, they do sometimes do a good job of coming up with chants and being kind of witty. Sometimes, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're horrible. We get "this is awesome" chants far too early. We get, "this is wrestling" chants far too early. It's like they try too hard to be better than the ROH fans, per se. That's a good way to put it. But sometimes they do a good thing. So it's, it's this, that, and the other. And of course, they're there for free anyway, so some people would say they shouldn't be bitching. But yeah, you're going to take that individuality that you have, that thing that it makes you different. I mean, one of the things when WCW and WWE were, WWF were at odds with each other, and you had the Monday Night Wars, WCW wasn't that much different other than the guys in the ring and the in-ring style. That was different. But the overall show presentation and all of that was pretty much the same. And Vince finally said, you know what? Let's try to get the fans more involved in the show. So he told the fans, you want to bring your signs, bring your signs. We will not censor you as long as the signs are in good taste. So, which people started bringing signs. People started bringing all sorts of funky, wild, crazy signs. I mean, you even had people with signs. I mean, one of the most common signs was I'm taping Nitro, and all sorts of stuff. People saying, people with their screen names from the internet, all sorts of wacky, crazy stuff. And it did. It made the fans feel like they were more involved. It got people more excited, made the show better, this, that, and the other. And now TNA seems to want to say, you know what? The WWE has kind of neutered their fans to a degree. So why don't we do the same? I think that's a mistake. I think that's a huge, huge mistake. I think that, and we don't know, and I'll give it time, but it just seems like they're trying too much to make the product look more like WWE. And hey, there is an argument to that. There's an argument to, hey, they're the #1 company. That's what it needs to look like, this, that, and the other. I understand that, except that you need to be different. Here's a very good example. Back when New Japan and All Japan, back in the 90s, in Japan, when they were kind of at odds with each other as far as companies, very different presentation. New Japan was the big, giant show, kind of WWE-ish. It was much more of a show, I would say. All Japan, not so much. All Japan was much more intimate environments. You had very different ring style. So it was different. Both shows were different, and they both succeeded. So I do think that there's nothing wrong with being different. You don't need to be different just to be different, but you do need to be different and have your own identity. You can't just be seen as, oh, look, it's the other WWE. You can't do that. And this just amazes me. Well, the whole Impact, spoilers, just shocked me. I stood there with my mouth open. I mean, it's just like, did these people have a clue? Because it seems very much like all they're doing is taking the ideas they had when WCW died, they weren't able to do, and just let's continue on with them. Let's try to do these because we'll think they'll work. I don't know about that. I don't think that's the right way myself. But hey, I don't run a promotion. I'm not out here putting my, trying to save my job, trying to make money. So what do I know? But I don't know. It's just, wow. I will say this. They're going to do these Impact tapings, and then they're going to go to the UK. That is their biggest, best place to go. That is where they'll probably have the biggest crowds they've ever had. All of that sort of stuff. And I'm going to find it very funny to see kind of what we get back. And for example, because we're going to have the four-sided ring, or would it shock anyone if we start getting reports that while they're in the UK, they get lots and lots of "we want 6 sides" chants? Maybe we won't get that. Maybe they won't do that. Maybe they'll be like, yay, we have 4 sides. 4 sides is awesome. I don't know. But I'm just saying, wouldn't that be kind of odd and strange? Because that is your biggest audience. That is your, that is kind of where you're making your money right now. And it's just kind of wow to me, just to be honest. It's kind of disturbing in a way. And overreacting maybe, but you just kind of ask yourself, do you feel better today than you did before Genesis? Ask yourself that. That to me is a very good question, because I don't know. I don't know. But go watch the video. Go watch the video. Hopefully it's still up. You make decisions for yourself. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. But anyways, with that, I'm out.